Okay, I'm going to draw a letter P in 2-point perspective. Now I'm going to start by designing it on a grid. I've made a little 3x5 grid, or 5x3, I can never remember which way you're supposed to say that, 5x3 I think, because I've worked out that that's going to nicely fit my letter P that I've had in mind with exact numbers of squares. So there's my basic design on a flat grid for a letter P. And of course, when I make it in my final version, I'll kind of round some of the edges like this. But the point of this bit is just to get the basic design, how it's going to fit in a grid. So having done that, I'm going to move to my plain paper and I'm going to get a pencil. So I'm going to start off by drawing a horizon line. Maybe just for the purpose of the video, I'll make that horizon line a little bit darker and clearer. And I'm going to have 2 vanishing points. So those are the 2 points that everything's going to disappear towards. Let's just try and turn this paper around. Okay, now I'm going to draw a vertical line. This line is going to be perfectly vertical. So in other words, it's at 90 degrees to the horizon line. Perhaps I could have been working on paper with graph squares on, but I've chosen not to. But I could, of course, have a set square for measuring a 90-degree angle against the horizon line. Let's see if I can find one. Yep, here's one. Okay, so yep, I made that nicely 90 degrees. That's good. Now this line I've just drawn here, it's going to be the front edge of my P shape. So I'm going to pen that in straight away. And then everything's going to be based on that. So first of all, the sides of the P shape have got to disappear towards the vanishing points. So that side up to that vanishing point, everything disappearing to this cross. And this side up to the other vanishing point, everything disappearing to that cross. I want to make the back of the P shape somewhere. I think arbitrarily I'll make it about there. So again, I'll get my set square and draw a perfect vertical line straight down there. And that's going to be the back of my P shape. So my P shape is going to be filling this space. Now, I'm going to draw a pair of diagonals across that space to make a cross. That cross marks the middle. So if I draw a line from that cross to the vanishing point up here, that divides this panel into top and bottom. Now if I measure these, they won't be equal in centimeters, but they look right for the perspective. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line through the middle of the cross. So again, measuring vertical as perpendicular 90 degrees to the horizon line. And there's a vertical line through the cross. So I've now divided the panel into 4 panels, 4 equal panels. Now again, they're not equal if I measure them with a ruler because of the perspective. The back is smaller than the front, but they're equal in terms of being in the right proportions for the perspective. Now I'm basically going to do the same again. So each of those 4 panels, I'm going to draw further diagonals in so that there are now 4 crosses, 1 in each of those panels, and I'm going to divide them up again. So from the vanishing point lines to the side, dividing them top and bottom, and then vertical lines through those crosses, dividing them left and right. So now I've got 16 panels, 4 up, down, 4 side to side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now in my P shape that I designed here, it was 5 high and only 3 wide. So actually I need kind of another line of small panels here to make the 5. So what I'm going to do is just extend the vertical lines a bit, because we know it's got to go down those vertical lines. Try and get those in the right place. There we are. Down there. Down there. Down there. And I'm going to extend these crosses a bit. Now if I divide this bottom panel here, this one that I'm just shading now, it's already got one diagonal in it. If I put another diagonal in it, then it will meet this 1, 2, 3 third diagonal point down here. Now that tells me where the bottom of the next line, a 5th line of panels, would be. So I can draw from there to the vanishing point again. And I've now got a 5th row of panels. And they're in the right proportion. You can see that by extending the diagonal lines that we've made in each of the panels. And you can see that everything is kind of lining up. These diagonals are going where they're supposed to go. Okay, so we've got 5 panels high and 4 panels wide. We only actually need 3 of them for our P shape, but I can start putting in my P shape now. So I'm going to get, let's see if this pen works. That doesn't work. This one's okay. Okay, so I'm going to do some nice inked in lines. So that's going to be the side of the P shape down there. That's going to be the bottom of the stem of the P. And then I need it to go up 2 squares. So I'm going to go up 2 squares to there. And then at the top, well, in my design here, it kind of goes almost the whole way along, 3 squares, but then it's going to curve a bit at the end. So I'm going to go up to about here, up to 3 squares, and then just curve it round. And then at the bottom here, it was going 2 more squares and then starting to curve around. Little curve there at the end of the P. And then I can make that bit vertical there. Should be using a ruler for this really to make it look nice. There we go. And then there's the hole in the P, so it's straight there, straight there, straight there. And it's got a little curve at the end. So that's a nice P shape from the grid based on this flat grid that we made. Okay, it's got to look solid, so some of these lines have got to kind of extend up the other way to the other vanishing point. So I'll put some lines up there and up there, and then just where the top of it's going to go there. Some vertical lines for the back of the P, so again making sure that they're perpendicular to the horizon with the set square. Nice vertical line. So I'm going to put the back of the P there. I'll do a nice solid pen line for that, I think. If this pen wants to work. I think I picked up the wrong pen again. There we go. Solid at the bottom. Then I just need to figure out where the back of this P is going to go. Well, it's got to go towards the other vanishing point over here on the right. So I'll just do that there. Curve it a bit at the back. And then let's just pen that in. So straight down the one side towards this vanishing point. Straight down the other side towards the other vanishing point. Little curve on the corner rather than a sharp edge. Not doing that very well, to be honest. Yeah, that could have been better. And now I just need to get an eraser to get rid of all of these working lines. Oh, and I forgot a line at the back there that needed to be solid. Oops, and now my light's collapsed. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Get rid of some more of those working lines. Okay, that's not bad. This is where you might want to get a bit creative with colour. So some coloured pencils, different shading on different sides. Bear in mind that there's a kind of curve in there, so you might want to do some creative shading in there to get that to look right. That's a bit more artistic than mathematical. Okay, so there's a letter P from a basic grid 5 by 3 to a nice 2-point perspective drawing.